Hey everyone, Mr. Clutch here, and we are at the end of Monday, June 12th. So I'm going to dive into the SPY and QQQ review real quick and take a look at how today played out. We are pushing up. You see from Thursday morning of last week, we've had three nice moves up. So a little consolidation in the middle there, but Friday started with a good move and kind of sold off, but another good move today. So let's start with making our zones. If you're new to the videos, we're using the method that Casey teaches in our Team 2 Discord. So what we're going to do is take the high of the previous day. First of all, let's move. We would be right here in the morning, so we wouldn't know what today's action looks like. So here's Friday's high. We're going to take that down, usually to the candle body. It's not quite $1 there, so we'll do that from the high wick down to the high of the bottom of the next candle body, and then we'll come over here, do the same thing on the low. So we'll go from this wick up to that candle body, and that kind of corresponds with Friday's high and that's Thursday's high and last Wednesday's high. So I'm just going to pull that up, and we're going to make that one big zone there because it's a nice little area. We had two highs in there and a low from the previous day. So after something becomes it was resistance, and then became support on Thursday. So that's a good sign we're going to move up potentially. So if we're opening it in here, then we're looking at our next zone, which would be down here from the Thursday low right there. So if we broke down here, we'd be looking for a move down here. Now, this is unprecedented territory, so we're going to go back have to go way back to make a zone higher. So let's see where that comes in. It looks like it's going to be right here on, what was that, April 21st of last year. So we could kind of make it like that there, and it kind of hits there. So that's a good zone there. So let's go back to our chart, back to today. Today Monday? Yeah, God, I don't remember what day it is. I might have said Tuesday in the open, but now I said Monday. So I think I did. So we opened today right under our zone, right? So we go up in it, kind of make a lower high, and then kind of test it again and reject. So out of the gate, as we're coming down, it almost looks like, we end up making the low of the day down here, which we didn't know that at the time, but it looks like we're moving our way back to this lower zone. So at this point, once you break here and you kind of test here, you might actually be looking at a trend line, something like that. The problem you've got is, look how wicky this is here. You're going to want to wait for a close below that, and so you could have got in here and you wouldn't have had much move left. So, but with that said, I don't know that I don't know that was a bad play. The only thing that could have kept you out of it was kind of like looking where all these wicks were on the low side here, as they kind of, and these kind of came through it, but then you got all these wicks, kind of just judging. You almost, I see Casey do this actually. He makes these little zones, like after this kind of candle happens, you could probably do something like that, and even go back up to the candle before it. So now you've kind of got this new little intraday zone where we're hitting here. So you could draw something like that out intraday, and then just wait. Let's see, we're in a really tight, which we expected this. We've got CPI tomorrow, and so we expected to be choppy today. Actually, I would not have been surprised if we kind of stayed in here today, maybe moved down a little and went to this here and bounced up and chopped around, or maybe even stayed in a tight window all day. So this was not unexpected. But once this happens here, there's a nice trend line to be drawn. Kind of like this. I mean, you may have been a little high, I guess, because these were a little lower wicks, but yeah, that's the first one to get over the 200 though. So you might have done something like that after this was formed, because this is still choppy. You're not finding a move in here, so you might have drawn once this came up and kind of sold back off. Maybe you make that trend line there, and as soon as this comes out of it, see that there, it pushes through the 13, through the 200, breaks our trend line. You could get in there, have a nice little move up, and then as soon as it goes into this zone, you're starting to look for pullbacks, and exactly what it did. So now we watch it come into this zone and kind of chop around. So you're kind of thinking, okay, it's hard to play in here because you don't know what it's going to do next. We're into that resistance area from last Friday, and so you kind of just want to let it get out of here, whether it's going to come down and we look for a pullback and take, or if it's going to bust out and move up, and that's exactly what it did. Problem we're going to have here is finding a move to catch in this, as this is pushing to the top. A lot of times we'll see these reject at the top of the zone, but I think this something in here was probably worth a play. I wouldn't take that one straight down, but you could have, if you really pull that out, you could have probably drawn something like that and taken it here, and you'd have been just fine. I kind of like when they're like kind of curling like this and it hasn't shot up really. Trying to find a different angle, maybe like that, because you kind of have this candle and this one, and then as soon as this comes up, you're thinking, okay, it's like this is a trade where you're gonna like immediately reverse, or you might have a nice move. But I think your risk to reward's nice, because if it hits here and reverses down, you can get out like right in here and not have much of a loss. But it does exactly this. You could even waited potentially for it to break out of the top of our zone, because it's still so close, our invalidation, and you're not too extended, and then you just ride that up, and that's a very, very nice move up. I don't know what that went percentage wise, but that's a nice move. So let's flip over to Qs real quick. I already did the zones on Qs, just to save some time since we discussed it in that first one. Don't think I did a higher zone now, but we'll just look at it as just the general price action. So same thing, came out under our zone from last Friday's high, and just kind of chopped in here again. As we get down here underneath it, as this pullback starts happening, we're probably looking at short here maybe, but it never stops, so it just pushes up in. As it dips back down, maybe you're thinking, okay, this is where you go short once it gets under the 200, and it's rejected our zone again. I mean, I don't know if you take that, just because it's not really off like a pullback or a flag and the EMAs are still backwards here. But as soon as that drips under the 200 and closes there, that looks like someone's trying to get you off sides there, because I could see thinking, okay, look, we've fought this all morning and not been able to bust through. We did it again, high wick up, and now we're selling back off, and this is probably going to go down and test our zone below, which is quite a ways down there. So I might not have marked. Yeah, there should be another zone in the middle, I guess. I didn't mark that from last week. It could be somewhere in there. So then, look, this is the same thing as SPY, though, but I think we get better entries here, because it kind of just chops sideways here. But as you get over into here, I don't mind this flag, even though it's a little extended. If you draw that out a little better, I think there's play there, and then you probably just get chopped up here, and I doubt you ever, you may cut it here. I don't know. Your premiums probably aren't, you haven't lost much here, so maybe you're just kind of barely down at that point, and you're holding on to see what happens. But there becomes a point here, and it kind of just, if you just connect those across, you might have taken it like breaking out here. That would not hit your stop, and then you hit that move. So real nice move into the day there. So CPI tomorrow, let's see what happens. Let's keep a close eye. Don't do anything crazy. Be careful. You don't want to run a bankroll on a crazy day like tomorrow. So as we get towards the end of the week, Thursday and Friday should be nice days after kind of the dust settles from Tuesday and Wednesday. So anyways, hope everyone had a good Monday. I love seeing the patience in the Discord today, because as early in the day it seemed like everybody was kind of waiting this out. We knew CPI was this week, or was tomorrow, and so we expected a choppy day. We discussed it quite a bit. So I saw a lot of people just not trading in this, and that was really really smart. So it kind of it was nice to see that everyone kind of waited it out, and then a lot of people were able to catch a move in this. So it was really cool. Yep, that'll do it. So hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow, and good luck on Tuesday, and just play smart and make the only take plays that you feel really confident in, where you have clear invalidation, and you can get out if the trade doesn't go your way. So see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.